No, it's weird because people, like, I sort of got more popular because of a routine that I did on gun control. And people come and see me because of the gun control routine, and they want me to do some political commentary or some social commentary. And then I just did, like, what was that, 10 minutes on docking. And the thing about the gun thing is weird. It's like, it's nice to have that as a calling card, that people want to see you because they like that routine. But then also it's a double-edged sword because I get more popular after a massacre, and that's really not what you want. It's not like you're sitting at home, ooh, there's been a massacre. Ooh. It's tough because people think if you talk about gun control in America, you're talking about banning guns. I'm not talking about banning guns. I'm talking about controlling guns. See, like, after what happened in Las Vegas, that guy shot all those people. I think he had like 48 guns or something like that. All the news people were like, well, gun control wouldn't have done anything because he bought all the guns legally. And you're like, yeah, gun control could have fucking solved that. How about if we brought in a law where you're allowed 7? If you can't protect your family with 7, you're no fucking good with the guns. See, this whole idea that if you bring in gun control, you're going to ban guns is a load of bullshit because there already is gun control. There's things like you can't put a bayonet on the end of your gun because that'd make your gun too stabby. And it's the right to bear arms. It's not the right to bear guns. It's the right to bear arms. Arms are weapons. See, in Texas, you can open carry an assault rifle on your back into Target. But you can't walk into Target with a chainsaw. People would think that's fucking weird. You walk into Target, just vroom, vroom. Security would be like, what's the fuck with the chainsaw, man? You'd be like, this is my protection chainsaw. This is to protect me and my family. You'll be happy I'm here if a bad guy with a chainsaw comes in. Because the only way to stop a bad guy with a chainsaw is a good guy with a chainsaw. See, this idea that all guns are protection is fucking bullshit. They're not all for protection. You can buy sniper rifles. Rifles that can shoot 2 kilometers. How is that for protection? Who the fuck is sitting in the front of the house looking at some cunt 2 kilometers away? Like, back down! I'm not going to do as many of those. I'll do some. But there's a lot of problems at the moment. There's a lot of guys that are raping people. And a lot of people in the entertainment business are going down, some for more offensive things than others, you know, but I'm nervous. You know, I don't think I've done anything wrong, but between the hours of 9 and 9, I'm pretty blacked out. Anyway, so... like, if James Bond was a real person, he'd be super fucking nervous right now. James Bond would be showing up to work like, I'm here to see Q. Actually, you're here to see HR. Oh! We have 472 complaints from a Miss Moneypenny. Ah! There's 2 Russian operatives that said you used their power against them and had sex with them. I was trying to get information. You're welcome. There's people like Kevin Spacey went down, man. Kevin Spacey, he went down and he goes like this. He goes, his defense was, it's probably a good time to mention that I'm gay. And we were like, what? Kevin, say it's not true. Yeah, Kevin gets a bit grabby. From all reports, if he touches your dick outside your jeans for a little bit, he's a dick grabber. But we all have that gay friend, don't we? We all have that gay friend that every time you're drunk and you're like, get out of it, don't touch me, dick. And they're like, I'll get you next time. I'm like, I'm sure you will, but not today. But he paid the price, as people should when they do things wrong. He paid the price. You know, he had a great career. And Netflix, the network we're on right now, they fired him, and rightfully so. And he lost. The immigrants are good. You want to have them, man. You want to have them. Unless they're fucking Mexicans. Oh! I live in LA. You wouldn't believe the problems we have with Mexicans. Fucking dirty Mexicans. They come over the border and they're taking all the good jobs. They can't even speak English. They're taking all the good jobs. I don't know how they do it, but they do. You know, sometimes I look at my son and I think, if only he could pick fruit someday. I have this woman who cleans my house twice a week. You wouldn't believe the amount of white people who applied for that job. Oh, they were queued around the fucking block, and I was like, get the fuck away from my house. I like explaining everything twice. Hey! But see, this is what Trump reckons. Trump reckons that the Mexicans are coming over the border and they're raping. I don't know how, though. It just doesn't feel like the opportune time. Like, you're trying to flee a country, you're dehydrated, you're in the desert. That would be the last thing on my mind, but that's because I'm not as sneaky as a Mexican. They're coming over the border and they're raping. Sure, maybe some of them, you know, maybe, but some of every nationality rapes. It's not like it's a Mexican thing. It's not like if you go to a really authentic Mexican restaurant and there's like a fucking sombrero and a piñata, and you walk in with your wife and kids like, this is very nice, this is a lovely restaurant. Then a waiter takes you away from your family. Off to the special Mexican closet. You come back out, your ass is like a Japanese flag. You look at your wife and you're like, why do we keep coming here? Every week. If the food wasn't so good. You know, it's not a Mexican thing. Sure, some of them are raping. Every nationality rapes. You have British rapists. You have Australian rapists, or Australia wouldn't exist in its current state. There's probably a Canadian rapist, one fella. Polite bloke, you know, nice bloke. Or you're going for a jog and he just drags you into some bushes like, I'm so sorry about this, I'm so sorry. I won't be too long, I don't want to ruin your day. That's why I do believe there should be a wall. There should be a wall on the Canadian border. So that when the Americans run out of health care, they can't crawl over into Canada. I think the Canadians should just make the wall 3 foot high. Just to take the piss. So that when the Americans are crawling over because their lungs are filled with coal from getting all their jobs back. Wants their job back in the coal mine. Like, what the fuck is... They're like, oh, we're gonna get our coal mining jobs back. What the fuck? I didn't even know coal was still a thing. As soon as as Trump said it, I'm like, is this a fucking Dickens novel? What the fuck? And why the fuck do these people deserve to have a job? What, because their dad had a job and their grandfather had the same fucking job and their great-great-grandpappy fucking blah, blah, blah. Have some fucking dreams, you low aspirational fuck. And they say things, they're just like this. They're like, well, if the coal mine shuts down, then our town will shut down. Yeah, fuck your town. Fuck it. Fuck it. In my lifetime, the population in the world has gone from 3 billion to 7 billion, and no one wants to move to your fucking town. Take a fucking hint.